I know what you're asking. Did you say my name 3 times or did you accidentally hold a seance? Yet here I am, back for another ghoulish video for your entertainment, and for those of you who have already subscribed, thank you. The channel is continuing to grow just like my head between the ending of the first movie and the beginning of the sequel. They never did explain that. And tonight, folks, I'm haunting a city so spooky, so ghost-infested, the Afterlife Yelp reviews gave it 5 tombstones. That's right, we're in Charleston, South Carolina, one of America's oldest cities, and you know what that means? Old ghosts, and lots of them. So stick around because by the end of the video, you're going to find out why Charleston just might be the unofficial capital of the undead. You're watching the channel for the recently deceased. Tonight we're hitting Charleston's most haunted locations. Real places, real spirits. But why is a city with a population of only 150,000 so haunted? For that, I asked a local ghost tour guide.
Well, my name's Garrett Walters. I'm a haunted tour guide here at Old South Carriage Company. We've got my partner in crime, Griffin, tonight, doing all the legwork. I think a big reason of Charleston being so haunted is just that it's really old. In a few more decades, we'll be hitting 400 years old. And we've just had a rough go of things. They say Charleston has been demolished and rebuilt like a dozen different times of random things. I mean, we had the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, the Civil War, everything devastated this city. It's burnt down 5 different times. There was an earthquake that leveled most of the city. It's just been a lot of nonsense that killed a lot of people, and we tend to just sort of bury them under all the streets and then pave right over it when things modernize a little bit. So there's been a lot of that, like the movie The Poltergeist, you know, they only moved the headstones. So there's just a lot of nonsense that happens down here with the urban sprawl and the way the city is laid out. But it's also, I think a big part of it is we have a lot of that history. Like the dungeon right over there on Bay Street, that's where people were being tortured. You know, like they chained them to the walls and just left them down there, and the guards would even take bets if it would flood and they would start to drown, chained to the wall. The British guards would be taking bets on who's gonna live the longest. So life was cheap down here back then. You know, if you died of a disease and they didn't know exactly what it was, they think it's airborne, they're just gonna get you out of the house. They will literally drag you into the street and dump you on the curb. And then a cart would come by in the morning, load the body up, and dump you into the mass grave. Because, yeah, you had no running water. It was dirty. It was nasty. You know, like there's lots of disease, lots of war.
Hang on just a second.
But yeah, it's an interesting city for sure.
Our first stop on our tour is the Dock Street Theater, one of the oldest theaters in America. And let me tell you, the drama doesn't stop when the curtain comes down. Legend says this place is haunted by 2 main spirits. One is Junius Brutus Booth. That's right, that Booth. He's the father of John Wilkes Booth. Reports say lights flicker, doors slam, and footsteps echo when nobody's around. But the real scene stealer is the ghost of a woman in a red dress named Nettie. People claim she appears on the balcony, vanishes mid-step, and occasionally just watches rehearsals. Stagehands swear props move on their own, and actors refuse to be alone here at night. Now personally, I love a theater ghost. It's applause that never stops, even after death. Okay, if you're still alive, deep breath, because this next place is the Old City Jail. Built in 1802, this place held pirates, criminals, and people who were, let's say, strongly disagreed with by society. Executions, solitary confinement, terrible conditions, you name it, it all happened here. Visitors report disembodied voices, shadow figures, sudden cold spots, and the feeling of being watched. One of the most famous spirits is Lavinia Fisher, often called America's first female serial killer, though historians still argue about that. Her legend alone is enough to make this place feel heavy. Why, even paranormal investigators say this is one of the most active locations in Charleston, which makes it ironic that since the last time I was here, they've given the building a power wash and have renovated parts of the interior to be used as office space.
I'm also going to need you to go ahead and come in on Sunday.
No, thank you. Looks calm, right? Trees, water, cute little park benches. Wrong. Welcome to White Point Garden, also known as Battery Park or just plain the Battery. During the Civil War, this area was a military site and many soldiers never made it home. Pirates were also executed here, most famously Stede Bonnet, also known as the Gentleman Pirate. Bonnet and his entire crew were publicly hanged here on December 10th, 1718, as a stark warning against piracy. Today, people claim they see apparitions in old uniforms, shadowy figures near the cannons, and hear footsteps late at night when the park is empty. Here at the Battery Carriage House Inn, guests claim the place is haunted by multiple spirits, including a headless torso of a Confederate soldier. But hey, come on, the guy just wanted a little head. People report lights turning on, doors opening, and objects moving on their own. And the front desk staff? Yeah, they're totally used to it, and that's how you know it's legit. Now what do you say we grab a bite if the ghost doesn't eat it first? This is Poogan's Porch, a famous Charleston restaurant haunted by its former owner, Zoe St. Amand. Staff say they hear footsteps upstairs, see doors open by themselves, and feel someone watching them while they work. Guests report silverware moving and unexplained shadows. Look, if I died in a house and it became a restaurant, I'd haunt it too. For the leftovers. The restaurant is also haunted by the restaurant's namesake, a little dog named Poogan. He is usually felt on the front porch, brushing against the legs of guests, asking for a handout.
Alright, so one time I was just staying next to the bar, and our bar back was just racking up mimosa flutes on the wine rack hanging above it. And it's not like crooked or anything. It's on there pretty stable. I'm watching the guy just hanging up the glasses while I'm just standing there next to the bar. And as he turns around to go pick something off the ground, I literally just see the glass just slide right off and fall onto his back. Yeah, and that was pretty crazy. And then nothing like outright where it's like you see you see something, but just inexplicable stuff happens all the time. We're kind of just used to it, so yeah.
Ah, graveyards. Finally, my people. The Unitarian Church graveyard is one of Charleston's oldest burial grounds. Uneven graves, weathered stones, and legends of spirits that don't appreciate midnight visitors. Skulls at the top of old gravestones, especially in colonial America, are called death's heads, a type of memento mori symbol meaning remember you must die, a reminder for the living to live righteously before their time ends. The most famous ghost photo from a Charleston graveyard involves Sue Howard Hardy, a woman who died in 1888. A photographer captured an image of a ghostly woman in white kneeling at her baby's grave on the anniversary of her death, an image widely shared as a classic Charleston paranormal photo. Now, if you watched episode 19 of the channel, you'll recall that I read Todd's ghost story. Well, I met up with him while I was in Charleston, so he could tell me that story on camera.
Hey, I'm Todd, and I was organist here at St. John's in Charleston for 15 years. So I was walking through the graveyard here about 7 in the morning, and I noticed that this grave here, this box-like looking grave, had been damaged, like somebody cracked it open, probably looking for valuables, thinking there's a body inside, but that's not how these are built. The body is still under the ground. It's just a style from the 19th century. I noticed the damage, and I'm walking away. I'm thinking, I got to talk to the pastor about that. And I get about 20 feet away, maybe to about this point here, and all of a sudden I hear literally coming from that spot right there, and it just made my blood run cold. And it was like something out of a movie. And there was nobody in the graveyard. It could have been, and it was 7 in the morning. These walls are high. If somebody were moaning on the other side, it would not have sounded like it was coming from right behind me like it did. So yeah, that happened.
Now, another time you actually heard a voice call your name, and was that the same hour of the day?
It was about 7:30, so I'm carrying a big stack of books for my choir, and I'm coming down this path here, and I just gone inside the building into what's called the sacristy right here. The alarm is still going. I'm just about to close the door behind me, and from right behind me, about this spot maybe, I hear Todd, and it kind of sounds like one of my female choir members. So I put down the books, I come back out, I'm like, hello? And there's nobody there. So no explanation for that.
So there you have it, folks, a ghost tour of Charleston, South Carolina. Historic, beautiful, and just crawling with ghosts that refuse to move on. If you want cobblestone streets, southern charm, and a very real chance of paranormal activity, this city delivers. Drop a comment telling me which location freaked you out the most, and let me know if you want a part 2. And don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell, because if you don't, I'm gonna haunt your algorithm forever. You've been watching the channel for the recently deceased, and remember kids, never trust the living. Bye.